Hello everyone. Switching to English. My name is Paweł Pruszkowski. I work at Samsung Poland, and I wanted to tell you today about how to combine your mobile device with your TV. In case you have a smart TV, it doesn't have to be that curved one. It can be a flat one as well. What are we going to talk about today? Well, there are some funny statistics that tell me that people tend to use their mobile devices while they are watching TV at home. So imagine the guy that, I don't know, just sits back at his sofa at home watching his TV. There is nothing on the TV as usual, so he's just getting his mobile device and he's playing with it. And what do people do while they watch TV? Well, they look up general information, they surf the web, they go through social networks, do various things, but also they do buy products that are advertised on the TV. So there is potential money there. So you could try to monetize something if you could leverage this connection. Imagine the guy who's just having his phone in his hand, and I don't know, maybe I just have a YouTube launched. Yeah, so I have a smartphone connected to local Wi-Fi. The TV is in the local Wi-Fi as well. I see a cool movie. Okay, there is nothing on the TV. I'm gonna watch a movie on my phone. And damn, this screen is so small. I'm clicking one icon. Hey. And oh my God, it can see my TV. So let's click it. And here it should go. As you can see, it launched the same movie, the very movie that I've been watching on the smartphone. And there's more. This movie started playback from the very moment that I left off on the mobile phone. And I still can control the playback from my mobile phone. I should have, for example, the volume control here, I think. Well, YouTube, get your stuff around. Anyway, I can pause playback for sure. I did it with my phone now. So, as you can see, it all works with one small button in the application. Just by accident, that's the same button for Chromecast, and it works with a smart TV. So, how can we achieve such a thing? Because I suppose that you would like your application, your mobile application, or even your website to work with some smart TV application. There are 3 APIs for that. I'm going to go shortly, briefly, through all of them. First of them is Dial API. The next one is nService and the MultiScreen API, which I'm going to talk about a bit more. But first, let's start with some theory. When we talk about connecting, well, cooperation between mobile device and the TV, there are 2 things we can think of. It's application management and application messaging. Application management are things like launching the application or installing the application on demand or stopping the application. On the other hand, application messaging is exchanging messages with running application. So the first thing is to talk to application manager, and the second thing is talking to the application itself. And we have 3 APIs that are available. The dial API is for application management. The end service is for application messaging, and MultiScreen API can do both. Which one should we use? Well, the dial API, this one is it's an open API. I'm sorry if the TV is hiding some things from you. Anyway, dial API is designed by Netflix. It's available on Samsung Smart TVs since a while. It's only for discovering the TV in the local area network, and its only purpose is to launch the application and then probably stop it. The word itself, dial, it's a short from discovery and launch. So its purpose is to discover the TV in the local area network and launch the application. End service, on the other hand, this is Samsung's API, and it's only for messaging, for exchanging messages. This is a REST-based API, so you can use virtually any kind of client that you would like to work with. So this can be Android, this can be Firefox OS, this can be iOS, this can be even a computer which sends HTTP requests. Well, in short, there is a web server installed inside the TV, and this web server allows you to create the communication channel between the mobile device and the TV. This API is available for older TVs as well. It's been there since 2012. Why am I talking about that? Because the MultiScreen API, the last one, it's only for the newest generation, for 2014, but this API does everything. I mean, it allows you to discover the device in the local area network, and it allows for communicating with this device. There's more. There is WebSocket connectivity, which is a bit more robust than plain HTTP requests. It also has cloud discovery mechanism. So, for example, if there is a lot of TVs in the local area network, which is the case at work, back in my office, you can use PIN code to pair your device with the TV. And the API itself is also nicer. It's based on Node.js event emitter. So how the multiscreen works. First, we need to discover the device. Then we can try to launch the application in the TV. After that, we connect the application to the channel that the TV has opened. The application in the TV can open several channels to make this communication better, to separate channels. And of course, since the channel is open, we can communicate. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if you want me to go through the overall architecture. This can be a little boring. Anyway, there is a service inside the TV. It consists of HTTP server, WebSocket server, and SSDP server. The SSDP is the thing that allows you to discover the TV in the local area network. And the application in the TV, using classes from MultiScreen TV API, connects using the WebSocket with the MultiScreen service. And the application, native application or hybrid or mobile web application, can also connect using this API with the service, and so they can communicate. Two code samples. I hope the font is not too small. There is a little callback hell. You can fix it using promises if you want to. Anyway, it's not really difficult. You just use the API to search for the device, and the callback receives an array with devices. So you can try to get the application. You can check the status of application if it's running. You just connect to the channel, and you just wire up the callback on the channel on message. And this function can do all the logic that you need. On the other side, in the TV, it's even more simple, because the TV only needs to connect with its internal service in the TV. So it just gets the current device, opens the channel, because the TV opens the channel and the mobiles can connect to the channel. And we just wire up some callbacks on message, on client connect, on client disconnect, things like that. As you can see, this is relatively easy. There are some links you can follow if you want to read more about that. And I would also like to show you a second demo. This will be the application that can be downloaded. Right here on MultiScreen This is an example app that you can see if it works, that you can just check. Please remember that this application can be launched only on emulator. It can be remotely launched only on the emulator. This is a limitation which is caused by security. You cannot launch remotely an unknown application on the TV. That would be a security breach. Anyway, if you would like to play a bit with this application, then anyone has a smartphone here? No? You could connect to this Wi-Fi here. It's already open. Please do not do it. The guys asked me to ask you to not download lots of data through this Wi-Fi, because the streaming can be down if you do. Anyway, now I will launch Hello, I'm talking to you. And now I will launch the application which I talked about. No. Okay. So this is an example application which you can download from MultiScreen. And now I need to this is Mac. Oh my God. I never worked on Mac. Hey, how to get out of the full screen? Help! Dziękuję. So I'm not sure if you will see the URL I'm entering, but I hope you do. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any better suitable hosting. As you can see, we are entering some public URL. This is a public website. In case you don't see hell.pl/, maybe I can, like, I don't know, make it bigger or something. Thank you very much. Anyway, please try to open this in your Chrome browser or whatever browser you have. And then you can click this button here. If you have connected with the Wi-Fi, then the button search should return exactly one result. My laptop is not in the Wi-Fi. Oh my God. Sorry. Laptop is in a different Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay, so let's try again. Now we should be in a correct Wi-Fi. Nobody has connected until now. As you can see, I have found one device. And it's, yeah, I've got someone else. Fantastic. Let's talk. Or maybe I will just try to launch a movie. Yeah, as you can see, the communication is smooth. There are no delays. I can launch the client directly in my web browser in my computer. This is a public website. It's somewhere in the internet. And the JavaScript that is included here, the library, MultiScreen API, it allows for detection of a device in user's house. So I think this is quite cool. This API has quite a lot of nice things. Unfortunately, you need to click. Yeah. Somebody just reset the playback, I think. Yeah, it's working, of course. If you are experiencing any delays, it's maybe because of the Wi-Fi here. I'm not sure. There are quite a lot of us at the moment. Oh my God. Did anyone turn it off? Guys. That wasn't nice. Okay, anyway. Anyone has any questions? Actually, I didn't look at this code, so I'm just using this API. I don't really know the internal works of it, but there is something called cloud discovery. At first, when this when the client when the client searches, there is a connection to multiscreen.samsung.com. And there is a request that asks for the TVs in the local area network. I suppose that there is some combination of local IP and external IP, which is stored in some Samsung cloud, which is also used by the TV. So the TV registers itself when it turns off, when it turns on and uses this API, and the clients also register themselves. Probably that's how it works, but just probably. Probably. Although I did not test it very thoroughly, I know that in our corporate network there were problems until we requested full opening of all the ports and removing almost all the security. Please note that in R&D center the security is really high level, so we just needed to lower it some because we couldn't work on it until the security was so high. Anyway, you can also try to use two other APIs, the dial API and then service. They don't use the cloud, so it all happens locally in the local area network. In case of dial API, you need to perform a UDP request to the multicast address of the network. So, and you just, it's a standard UPnP stuff. If you know UPnP, you probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, if you discovered the TV in the local area network using dial or something else, then you just can go forward with nService, which is also quite robust, actually. It only uses HTTP requests, so you don't have to use any specialized libraries for your Android application. If you perform HTTP requests, you can do it. No microphone, sorry. You can talk. Okay, is it industry standard or this is a manufacturer standard? The dial API is the industry standard. You can find it also on the smart TVs of other brands. Personally, I have seen it working on Sony, I think, or on Philips. Please also note that the icon in the YouTube was the Chromecast icon. I think the Chromecast is also using it. So the dial API, this API for discovering and launching the application in the device, this is industry standard. So that it's open, it's implemented by many manufacturers. Two other APIs are Samsung APIs. I even did some research if other manufacturers have things like that, and actually I didn't find anything. Maybe I wasn't searching very thoroughly, I'm not sure. It would be good if they followed, actually, but then maybe some lawsuits or something like that. Any other questions? Actually, I'm not sure if the DHCP is being reset during an active connection. Is that the case? Okay, so if the IP changes due to DHCP connection reset or whatever lease was just out, then I suppose you should just try to reset the connection. Well, this is just an API. You are to implement it. So I think this is up to developers to implement it the way that when the connection is lost, then you should try to reconnect. The API itself does not handle it. All right, any other questions? I suppose everybody's thirsty and they want to go down for a beer, in case you haven't had any. All right, so thank you for tonight. I think I will handle this microphone to Piotr for a last word. And that's all from me. Thank you very much. Good night.